Okay, so to start my orange almond cake, I need to boil my oranges first. So this is what gives it a really nice sort of a slight bitterness and a really moist cake. So I've got 2 oranges here. These are, I'm just using Navel oranges. Nice and sweet, and they don't generally have any pips or seeds in them, so it makes it a little bit easier to work with rather than having to take all of the seeds out. So I'm going to use 2 large oranges. And all we're going to do is cover them with some water. I'll probably need a little bit more water than this. Yes, I do. So what I'll do is I'll finish covering that with water, and then I just want to simmer them, not boil, but bring to a boil, then reduce to a simmer for an hour or so. And that will make the outside nice and soft and everything, because we're going to use the whole orange in this cake recipe. So once you've brought the oranges to a boil, you've simmered them, turned them down and simmered them for an hour. You want to rinse them out or drain them out, and then you want to just leave the 2 oranges on their own to cool completely down to room temperature. And then I will come back to you and show you what they look like, and we will start the rest of the cake recipe. Okay, so I have boiled my oranges for an hour, or simmered them, and this is what they look like when they finish. They're very soft and squidgy, and I've let them cool. I've actually popped them in the fridge for a little bit to make sure that they're nice and cool. So now what I need to do is puree these. And I have a little mini chopper. If you have a large food processor, then that's great. Use that, because you can do the whole batter inside your food processor. Otherwise, just use a little one like this. These are rather inexpensive and work as well. You might need to do it in batches, but at least you'll be able to puree it quite easily. So I'm just going to cut it up. Now, I used a Navel orange, and so Navel oranges don't usually have any seeds, so I don't really need to worry about taking any of those out. If you've used another orange and it does have seeds, just as you're sort of cutting it up, I'm going to take out that little bit there. Just as you're cutting it up, take out any of the seeds or pips that are inside the orange, and then you're just going to pop it into your food processor. Obviously, if you've got a bigger one, you can do it all in one go, but I'm going to try and squish one into this one. Let me just pop it on there and puree it. Okay, so there we've got some pureed, and I'm just going to grab a bowl to pop that into. So we'll just move this out of the way, and we'll take off our bowl here and just dump out our puree so far. Get a spoon out. There we go, and then I'll just do my next orange as well. Okay, so I've got my 2 oranges now pureed. I'll add this to the bowl of orange puree that I've got. As I said, if you've got a large food processor, you can do this whole cake batter in the one food processor. But as I only have this little mini one, I am just going to switch over to my mixer. So let me get that set up, and I will be right back. Right, so I've got my mixer set up, and I've added my puree. I've also preheated my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I have greased and lined, not floured, because this cake doesn't have any flour in it, so just greased, and I lined the bottom just with some baking parchment. So that's all ready to go. And then we just need to mix in the rest of our ingredients. So if you're doing this in the food processor, similar to what I'm going to do here, you are going to add in your eggs. So we have 6 eggs, whole eggs, that I'm going to put in. And then I've also got 1 cup of sugar that we're just going to add in, and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, freshly squeezed lemon juice. So we'll just pop that in there, and then we'll mix that all up. Right, and And to that, I need to add in 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So I'll add in 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And I'm going to add in 3 cups of ground almonds. There we go. And now if you're doing this in the food processor, you want to make sure that you don't over process this. You're just going to incorporate it in. So it's a little bit easier for that part with the mixer, but just gently incorporate all of those in. All right, so we've got that all incorporated in, and I don't want to overmix it, so just gently. It's quite a wet mixture. So I'm just going to pop that in my prepared tin and then bake in my 350-degree oven for 50 to 60 minutes. And I'm looking for gold color, sort of golden color on the top, and then when I insert a skewer or toothpick in, that comes out clean. So I'll come back when the cake comes out of the oven. So that's my finished cake out of the oven. I let it cool in the tin for 10 minutes and then I took it out and let it continue to cool just on the wire rack. Mine actually took about, rather than 60, it took more like 78 to 80 minutes to cook in my gas oven. But as you can see, it's sort of still a little spongy, nice and golden on the top of it. And then just to finish it off, I'm going to give it a dusting of icing sugar. So I've just put some confectioner's sugar into a sieve. And I am just going to give it a really good solid dusting all over the top, so it's got a nice white coating on the top. And then that's the cake ready to go. Just like that. So if you're serving it still a little warm, if you're serving it a little bit warm, add a little bit of, you could add in some nice sort of tart Greek yogurt that's nice and thick. I think I would like to add in some whipping cream to that, which is slightly sweetened, but eat it however you want. Absolutely lovely, so give that a go. Thanks for watching my video. If you enjoyed my recipe and my video, please do give me a thumbs up. Please also subscribe to check out what else I'm doing. Thanks a lot.